Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 3 of the NFL. Today I am making picks for every single game in week 3. The first 2 weeks have been very fun. Primetime football has certainly delivered. It seems every one of these games in the primetime slot is an absolute banger. So let's get right into my picks for week 3. Starting off with Thursday night football between my Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Right now the spread for this game is around 12.5. That's a little obscene to me. I get where they're coming from, but the Dolphins are 0-2. They're going to be hungry for a win. The Bills had to use all of their effort to beat the Ravens in week 1. They still had, a very solid game against the Jets in week 2. I think they're due for a little bit of a downer. I'm still picking the Bills. I think the Bills win this game. But if we're going against the spread in this one, I might take the Dolphins to cover, but give me the Bills to win for sure. I know the Dolphins are going to be hungry, and if they lose this game, it's basically season over, which is crazy to say in week 3. But give me the Bills to win Thursday Night Football. Moving on to our Sunday 1 o'clock slate. As a Bills fan, I will be able to watch Red Zone this week, so we'll be watching all these games. We have the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow into Minnesota to take on the Vikings without J.J. McCarthy. So a battle of the backups this week in this game. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals and Jake Browning, though. I think they have a little bit more talent than the Vikings. And after watching what the Bengals did without Burrow, I think they played at a high enough level to beat a Vikings team. And then you take out J.J. McCarthy. I think this is going to be maybe an upset. I'm not looking at the spreads right now. I would assume some people are taking the Vikings. I'm taking the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. Too many weapons on offense, even without Joe Burrow. Moving on to our next game, we have the Houston Texans going into Jacksonville to take on the Jags. We just saw that Houston game the other day. They had the game for the entirety of it until the very end. They let it slip away. Unfortunately for them, that means they are, in desperate need of a win. Meanwhile, Jacksonville coming off that loss to Jake Browning and the Cincinnati Bengals. Give me Houston, though, on the road. I know, the big speech in January, forever, that the Jaguars had all this momentum after week 1. I think it slowly starts to slip away. Give me the Texans to bounce back from last week and pick up a road win. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts, going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Give me Indiana Jones and this Colts team. This is one of my favorite teams to watch right now. They are electric. The Colts with Danny Dimes just dinking and dunking. They have not punted yet this year. That is incredible. I don't know if that's ever happened before. They've scored on their first 10 drives. Give me the Colts all day. Cam Ward still searching for a big game, some success. He's gonna be a good quarterback in this league. I think I've seen enough where his head's at the right spot. He has the physical attributes. Not this week though. Give me the Colts. Next game we have the Las Vegas Raiders headed into Washington to take on the Commanders. This is gonna be my first real upset of the video, I guess you could say. Give me the Raiders to bounce back after that loss against the Chargers. I think they had a little bit of momentum going into that Chargers game, but Geno threw the pick right away. A little bit of a bouncer, not his fault. Threw it into coverage and it deflected and it was picked off, and that set the tone early in that game, kind of put the Raiders out of reach before it even started. Give me them to bounce back though against a Commanders team that is still talented, still a good team, but I think they've disappointed in their first 2 games. I would have liked to see more in both of those, so give me the Raiders. Big upset on the road. Next game, we have the Los Angeles Rams going into Philly to take on the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles at home. I think it's going to be very close. Matthew Stafford has looked good so far this season, but his health, I don't want to pick the Rams in this one because of, Matthew Stafford's health. I don't know if he's still full or not. He's getting older. He had that whole thing in training camp and preseason where he didn't play, so give me the Eagles coming off a win against the Chiefs. I feel like I would be kind of dumb to not take the Eagles in this one, so give me the Eagles. Next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons going into Carolina to take on the Panthers. You guys know, if you guys have been watching these picks videos, I am not picking the Panthers until they win a game, so by default, I'm taking Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons. But yeah, the Falcons look good this year. I think they're going to be a solid team. They started getting Kyle Pitts into the mix. Of course, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. It's a really good offense, and the defense is not that bad either. So give me the Falcons. Easy win in Carolina. Next game, we have Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers headed into New England to take on the Patriots. The Patriots are looking like a a solid team. I hate to say it, but they are. They lost week 1, but they bounced back. They win week 2 against the Dolphins. Meanwhile, the Steelers have an embarrassing moment in that Seahawks game where they kick off, they don't field it, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point swing just like that. Puts them down by 14. There is no coming back after that. So give me Drake May and the Patriots in Foxborough to knock off Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. The momentum's there. I think the Patriots continue to ride it, and it's a home game. If this game was in Pittsburgh, I'd probably flip-flop, though, so I'm taking the home team in this one, which is the New England Patriots. Moving on to our next Sunday 1 o'clock game, we have the Green Bay Packers in Cleveland to take on the Browns. This one's an easy one. Give me the Packers. Go Pack, go in this one. The Packers look like the best team in the league. The Browns, they do not look good at all. Give me the Packers all day. Next game, we have the New York Jets in Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. I have to take the Buccaneers. The Jets just look miserable against the Bills. Justin Fields still in concussion protocol. I don't know if he's going to play or if it's going to be Tyrod. I don't care who plays for the Jets. They had a miserable week last week, and maybe, I think the biggest storyline from that Bills-Jets game is that the Steelers might not be legit because they had that epic, back and forth game where they both scored upper 30s, almost 40 points. And then the Buccaneers, of course, just had a good comeback win against the Texans. Give me the Buccaneers. Moving on to our 4 o'clock slate on Sunday, we have 4 games in this slate. Starting off with the Broncos in LA to take on the Chargers. I am taking the Chargers. The Chargers look legit this year. The Broncos stumbled out of the gates. No pun intended, because they are Broncos, but I have to take the Chargers. I think Bo Nix is, experiencing a little bit of that sophomore slump. I think he gets himself out of it by midseason, but right now, give me the Chargers. They are the hotter team. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints in Seattle to take on the Seahawks. I'm taking the Seahawks all day. No explanation needed. Seahawks, better team. I don't really want to pick the Saints until they prove themselves, so I got to take the Seahawks. Next game, we have the Dallas Cowboys in Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears look terrible. The Cowboys, their defense might not be there, but their offense is putting up points. That back and forth game against the Giants is an early game of the year contender. Give me the Cowboys on the road. The Bears are another team like the Panthers. I said, until they win a game, I'm not picking them. Last game in the Sunday 4 o'clock slate, we have the Arizona Cardinals going into San Francisco to take on the Niners. The Niners, again, still dealing with injuries, quarterback position. George Kittle still out. Arizona, they're decent. This is going to be a good game. Give me... I want to pick Arizona, but I'm not going to. Give me the 49ers at home. I almost did it. I almost flip-flopped on myself, but I'm not going to do it. Give me the Niners. Even with those injuries, I think they're a better team. Kyler Murray still just seems to be stuck in that mid-tier quarterback range. He hasn't shown enough for me to be able to pick the Cardinals. I know Trey McBride, Harrison, they have some offensive weapons, but give me the Niners at home. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, and what a banger we got this week. The Kansas City Chiefs, 0-2, by the way, head into MetLife to take on the Giants. Am I crazy for wanting to take the Giants in this game? They just put up a ton of points. I'm not gonna, though. Give me the Chiefs on the road. I think they right their wrongs. This is about as gimme of a game as you could get for the Chiefs. The Giants just suffered a heartbreaking loss where the Cowboys just kept coming back on them and ended up beating them. I think the morale with Brian Dable and this Giants team is at an all-time low, and I think the Chiefs are just so hungry for a win. There's no way Mahomes, Sunday Night Football, there's no way he goes 0-3, so give me the Chiefs. Last game of the week. Speaking of bangers, I was a little sarcastic with this last pick. This might be the game of the week. Monday Night Football, Detroit Lions in Baltimore to take on the Ravens. This game could really go either way. I'm going to take the Ravens at home. Something with how Detroit played in week 1 is stinging in my mind. The Ravens have looked good in both of their games. I know they collapsed in week 1, but they still look good on both sides of the ball for a majority of that game. The Lions, they look good against the Bears. It was a runaway game. You could tell there was some bad blood between Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson. Dan Campbell left his starters in the game. They went for it on 4th and goal from the 3 and just, kept putting up points into the 50s. The Bears, we know they're not a good team, though. We know there's a lot of drama going on behind the scenes in Chicago. So that Detroit win, as good as it was, still hasn't proved to me that they are, as good as they were last year. I think they're still going to be a good team. I think they're going to dig themselves out of it, but they have a tough task against the Ravens, especially in Baltimore. If this game was in Detroit, I might think about it a little bit more, but give me Baltimore at home all day. So let me know in the comment section below what you agree with, what you disagree with. Again, I'm not going to get offended if you disagree with some picks. Let me know. Let me know why. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and be sure to tune in to next week's picks. I will see you guys in week 4. Have a good one.